Hello, welcome to this Crypto Professor book review. Every month I choose and select a book based on cryptocurrency investment or finance and review it and pick out key highlights. This month it is How to DeFi by the guys at CoinGecko. Now, if you don't know CoinGecko, it's the very first website that you see in any one of my analysis videos. It has all the price data for all the major cryptocurrencies. Ultimate high price, ultimate low price, and also coin information like the max number of coins and coins in circulation. I do recommend it if you'd like to get your price data from an independent source, as opposed to CoinMarketCap, for example, which is owned by Binance. CoinGecko have really written a first-class book here. This is an excellent introduction, a one-stop shop, a centralized version of an introduction to DeFi, ironically. It really does touch on every single one of the protocol that you can use. If you don't know what DeFi is, Decentralized Finance, it really has taken the world by storm this year. $12 billion of capital has been invested in DeFi projects and DeFi protocols this year alone. That is a huge amount of capital and actually has caused the majority of price movement in the crypto world this year. Decentralized finance is a revolution in cryptocurrency. It's an attempt to get away from centralized exchanges, or CeFi. And now obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. Back in 2015, back in 2014, everyone was talking about getting away from centralized finance like banks, etc. DeFi really does that. Today, if you invest, you might choose Binance or CoinMarketCap or Coinbase, etc. to make sure that you can invest your capital wisely. But then what if they go down? What if there's a hack, for example? Recently, there has been a huge hack on KuCoin, for example, $150 million. Decentralized finance tries to get around that by you storing your own crypto with your own private key, basically, and your own set of information. No one else knows it apart from you, and therefore it's your responsibility to look after. The problem with DeFi is it is very difficult to understand from a novice perspective. So if you've owned cryptocurrency for a number of years, perhaps you've got multiple exchange accounts with different providers, DeFi seems very, very scary and very, very alien because there's no one to hold your hand. This book is an attempt at writing something where you can dip in and out and look to see what there is out there and how to use it. I read this book in one sitting, but I do find myself dipping in and out of it to look at different DeFi projects where I might be able to invest my capital more wisely. Particular highlights for me were understanding Nexus Mutual, or insurance on your cryptocurrency. I had no idea before I read this book that you could insure against a smart contract failing. For example, Yearn Finance. If Yearn Finance is hacked, you get a stablecoin return predetermined when you actually set up the insurance. That to me was revolutionary because now I can have Yearn Finance and sleep at night in case it does actually have a hack. That is revolutionary to me. Yearn Finance is obviously also a decentralized finance product, but unfortunately the book was written in March 2020 or published in March 2020 and therefore doesn't mention Sushi Swap or Yearn Finance or more modern or more recent developments. Ideally, they're going to have to publish a book every 6 months or so to keep up with the DeFi space because it does change very, very rapidly. It is a really good book. It's quite practical as well. It goes in depth on a number of topics. There are 14 chapters. It looks at the majority of projects, so decentralized lending and borrowing, for example, decentralized stablecoins, decentralized exchanges, decentralized insurance, and even decentralized fund management is mentioned. So they really do try and touch on the majority of projects that are going on in the DeFi world right here, right now. Personally, I got a lot out of the decentralized wallet chapter. I was introduced to Metamask. Now, I hadn't used Metamask before. I hadn't heard of DeFi until about 9 months ago or so. So I now use Metamask for the majority of my trading. I store all my coins on my own laptop or in cold storage, and Metamask helps me to do that. It also helps me to log into decentralized wallets and exchanges and fund yield generators. And I really have now taken DeFi on as a way of investing for the future. Sure, there are still centralized exchanges like Crypto.com, Binance, KuCoin, etc., who do have a lot to offer, but decentralized finance, when you really understand how it can utilize and improve your financial control, really does turn the wheel in terms of your brain, thinking, goodness me, I can control my own coins, I can control my own crypto. That's fantastic. I can now sleep at night without having to worry about $20,000-$30,000 of capital sitting on an exchange somewhere that could be hacked at any moment. Like KuCoin, for example, that was hacked for $150 million only a couple of months ago. So a lot of plus points in here. One slightly negative that I do have, and that's slightly perhaps unfair, is that this is a book and therefore it was published in the start of 2020 and therefore there's no mention of SushiSwap or Yearn Finance, for example. They're ideally going to have to publish a new book every 6 months or so in order to keep up, because it does change rapidly. New projects come and go all the time, and therefore a book like this can only stay relevant probably until the first month that it's published, and then it goes by the by. If you're interested in buying this book and want to read it, I recommend it. If you want to understand DeFi from a, ironically, centralized point, then please click the link below in the description. It will take you to Amazon, and there you can purchase the book, and we receive a small commission to help keep the channel running. But otherwise, I hope you enjoy the review, and I hope you enjoy the book, and I'll see you next time on the next Crypto Professor book review.